describes head to toe. And AJ pulls me aside and she said, okay, now how did your life change? Did you get the guy? Did you get the job? Is your house any bigger? Did money just magically, get put in your pocket? What positive happened in your life after you just tore that woman down? Wow. Other than you just put out all this negativity in the world, and this woman whose power you want to take away, you've actually just empowered her by speaking of her. We're gonna need you a few rows back.
What were you doing? It was so bad.
I'm like dance mom, and I'm like plie, plie. I'm very,
You should be yelling ballet moves and NBA stars.
I become like Bobby Knight and like the Great Santini.
Oh, you were just screaming and you were abusive.
Yeah, like brick, air ball. But it's like
you're not yelling this at him, are you?
Sure. I feel like
this is your guy.
Who's gonna tell him? It's not me.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Sailor here, back with another Makeup Mythology video. Part of this sub-segment of Obsessed with Astrology. So if you're new here, hi, my name's Dom. I do makeup tutorials, talking about stories from over the world. Stories that y'all love, stories that I love. So if that interests you, make sure that you click the like button on this video. Share with your friends, subscribe, comment down below what you think is interesting about this story. Also, you can support me at buymeacoffee.com/JommyMommy, or you can join my Patreon, which you have exclusive content and be able to see my videos a day or more early. You should go ahead and join. It's a fun time. Also, I do fun rants on there, which is my favorite. Okay, you good? Did you get it? Did you join? Okay, we're just gonna go dive right in.
Of course, as always, all the products are down below in the description if you want to know how I got this look, and then of course I will post them on my Instagram later before the video drops officially. Today we'll be talking about the 8th sign of Zodiac, which is Scorpio. Starting with the highest today.
If your birthday falls between October 23rd and November 22nd, that means that Scorpio is your sun sign. Scorpio is the fixed water sign of the zodiac, right between Libra and Sagittarius. Like Taurus and Leo, fixed is its modality. It is the middle of autumn, the swing of autumn.
It's a very exciting time of the year. Also, Scorpion season has Halloween. How lucky. Spooky Scorpio season. All fixed signs are stabilizing signs that fully bloom and continue what has been started.
Flush things out with concentrated focus. And for Scorpio, the fixed water sign,
this is long. Governance is found through achievement.
And by going deep into the mysteries of imagination, dreams, and sexuality.
Love black.
So like hinted before then, Scorpio is a water sign. Water signs are for being submerged in their surroundings, often sensing the emotional reality of what's happening around them. So they are attuned to waves of people's emotions, which does help them out in their relationships, gives special depth to their relationships, both romantic and platonic. And Scorpio lives underwater, and basically as the fixed water sign.
Their powers allow them to see the throes of tides, color for fish, and also very much predators that may be coming our way from under the water.
While Scorpios are known for being magnetic and mysterious, they will try to bury their passion and emotion. And also they're known for being very self-aware. I feel like Capricorn is saying we're very self-aware. That's why we get along so well. We're all very self-aware. There's a lot of self-awareness going on here.
Now, Scorpio is the Latin word for scorpion.
So it's pretty easy, and it's crossed all the languages of the romance family. So we don't need to do that much glitter, just like a smudge. A smudge of glitter. And I'm gonna insert that audio here.
Escorpión, Scorpio, Escorpiao, Scorpione.
Is in many cultures, the first of them being, of course, the first empire, Babylon. In Babylonian mythology, ooh, look at this, it's black glitter. The scorpion symbolizes dash of battle and the marital prowess of the king of the civilization of the empire, whatever you want to call it. The empires of the world unite, we are alive. If the scorpion comes close to the moon and stands in front of it, the reign of the king will be long. An enemy will attack but fall, which is a good omen. I think that's a good, like, it's like, hey, you guys, you got this, which I like that. I like that energy. Oh yes, it's definitely like spooky style. Definitely good for Halloween.
Also, the scorpion was divided into 3 main components, each with its own associated deities and star lore. 1, the claws or horns, later transformed into the scales, Libra. 2, the breast, sacred to Lisi, the goddess of lamentations. And 3, the stinger, the battle maces of the warrior god, Nanturatya. The scorpion overall represents the multifaceted goddess, Ishara, who revealed over the ancient Near East. She is a goddess of war and victory. She is regarded as the mother of 7 gods, warmonger regions of this god cluster. In astrology, the fortunes of war can be predicted by comparing the ideal time of Scorpio's rising. In month 8, the scorpion was used to accumulate various seasonal attributions associated with the autumn months, such as harvesting and seeding the fields. In ancient Egypt, Scorpio was associated with the scorpioning goddess Serket, which translates to she who causes the throat to breathe. She was a beautiful woman with a scorpion on her head, or a scorpion with a human's head. Her scorpions could be killers or could rescue any person of Serket's choosing. She was worshipped as a helper of women in childbirth and healer of innocents struck by scorpions. She causes the throat to breathe. The most common astrology say that the Scorpio constellation is responsible for the throat and breathing. In Greek mythology, Scorpio comes from the story of Orion. Orion was a giant who was the son of Poseidon and Euryale, and was said to be the most handsome man alive. He was hunting partners with Artemis, goddess of the wild animals, the hunt, and vegetation. Orion was a great hunter who became boastful of his skills and claiming that there was no animal he couldn't kill. So this angered her brother, Artemis' brother Apollo. He went to Mother Earth and asked her to create a giant scorpion, which Orion fought and stung Orion, which killed him. But both of them were honored, as Zeus placed both the scorpion and Orion in the heavens as a constellation, which I think is kind of funny. Is that bad? Yeah, Scorpio is fascinating. It's just so fascinating. And excited to learn more. Yay, Scorpio. But I mean, I guess he had to prove a point. He was proving a point. Like, you can't beat Scorpion, so that's just, yeah. Now, hey guys, now we're done. Now it's time for the big 6 in Scorpio. Stay tuned. Scorpios are known for their intensity. They're determined folk that absolutely throw themselves into whatever they do, but getting them to commit to something is really an easy task. In fact, it's not even try to get them to do anything. Solar Scorpios have absolutely their own mind. Their motivation is unlikely to be prestige or authority. It's real power. Their power can be absolutely behind the scenes variety, but as long as they have it. To others, Scorpios seem to have plenty of willpower. They probably do. Scorpios know what they want and will go out and grab it at the wrong moment. They sit back, watch, and will get only in the moment when it's just right. This is apparent and practiced through their powerful skills of strategy at work. Scorpios are afraid of getting their hands, their bodies, their minds dirty. The darker sides of life intrigues them, and they're always ready to investigate. Scorpios simply never give up. They have tremendous staying power, and they're not intimidated by anybody or anything. Confrontations are not a problem. Talk to any Scorpio otherwise, and you'll be in awe. While others may find security and comfort in material things, Moon and Scorpio people seek out emotional intensity. No matter what, there's always something to about Moon or Scorpios. They are diggers when it comes to the world of emotion. They can see beyond facades and cut right to the core of a person. This ability to see what isn't obvious to the rest of the world can be intimidating to others or wildly attractive depending on the audience. Their deep-seated need for transformation and rebirth can manifest itself in the lives in lunar Scorpios in many ways. Most have powerful, mostly intense lives. Some feel like it is beyond their control, and others feel they have to consist of pretty dramatic up and downs. These people are an internal quest to get to the heart of any matter. This appears in anything that requires thought in almost every object they have. It totally appears when it comes to delving into the depths of what no one else wants or even thinks to explore. Mercury in Scorpio is adept to learning in the source, the core of an issue. They are blessed with the observation skills of a surveillance camera, seeming to just know it all and see it all. Sometimes they can be quite dark because of their tendency to focus on the false in order to get to the truth. These people detest superficiality. They come across suspicious and can annoy other more obsessive people with their negatives on things. Scorpio communicators are passionate in their speech, often given to lecturing. They're quite passionate about giving real advice and real help. Venus and Scorpio people attract others with their intensity and willingness to commit. They have a strong and concentrated manner which suggests their feelings run deep. Their actions in love tend to promise deep commitment and sexual pleasure, even if they're not telling us directly. Their appeal lies in their focus on you and their dedication. Venus and Scorpio seems fearless when it comes to intimacy. Potential lovers get the feeling that Venus and Scorpio will never stray, that they are intensely loyal to the one they love, and that they possess you and somehow make it seem attractive to be possessed. They give you their complete attention. They are focused on their partners. Depending on their personality, they may find it unnerving or entirely flattering. Mars and Scorpio natives love to challenge themselves to do the impossible. They throw themselves into whatever they decide to do with concentrated energy and awesome willpower. These people are formidable opponents, although they often quietly so. They keep their cool and their collisions on the surface, though the surface is another story, and they are unlikely to let you in easily. Mars and Scorpio has the potential to exploit others. These people see through others and rely heavily on their gut feelings. The sexual stamina of this position is thought to be the strongest of all positions in Mars. Sometimes Scorpio and Mars people are subject to taboos, and their fantasies may involve blowing the taboo. Scorpios and people have a lot of presence. There's something about them that tells the world they are not to be pushed around. Their manner commands respect and in some cases fear. Scorpio rising people can be quiet or loud, but they always seem powerful and determined. Either you love or hate Scorpio rising people. They are rarely people who go through life unnoticed. In fact, some of them are confused when faced with the fact that they get such strong urges from others. They seem to look right through people, seeing the superficiality. This can be quite intimidating to some and intriguing to others. Scorpio rising people in their dealings with others look for answers by reading between the lines. Where details are discarded when they feel when they're getting a feel from people. Did you know that Scorpio was originally ruled by Mars up until the 1930s when they discovered the planet Pluto? Mars is a planet of progression and war. Of course, we know that from our Mars readings in our Big Six. But in Greek mythology, Pluto was actually the god of the underworld. But oddly enough, in astrology, Pluto represents death, regeneration, transformation, and everything that's hidden underneath the surface. And did you know that the majority of millennials have their Pluto in Scorpio? It's really fascinating. So you learn the meaning behind Pluto and Scorpio, understanding why millennials are where they are. So Pluto and Scorpio dates between November 1983 to November 1995. If you were born during this time, that makes you not only millennial, those who were born between 81 and 96, but also a member of the Pluto and Scorpio generation as well. if you fall within this time frame, think back to what it was like growing up. I'm not talking about nostalgia or memorabilia or where you lost your first tooth. I'm thinking of the abandonment traumas, intense desires, sudden transformations, and or emotional roller coasters you endured as a child. Really all throughout your life. These experiences are what define the Pluto and Scorpio experience. Think divorce rates among your friends' parents growing up, or your own parents. Aftermath of 9/11, these experiences are so big that they factor in what separates between millennials from Gen Z. Yeah, a lot of Gen Z they were not old enough to even know what happened with 9/11. Realizes the caterpillar that retreats into the cocoon and processes as it endures the complete change. In astrology, Pluto has gone through a lot of changes throughout the years. Astronomers have struggled when deciding whether or not it should be considered a planet since it's so far away from the sun, which astrology is essentially based on. There's a lot of you don't know about this dwarf planet. It's so far away and it's tiny. What we do know is how powerful Pluto is. Pluto is considered to be the god of the underworld. Pluto's always got to punch, and in Scorpio, the expression of this planet is definitely enhanced. This is not to say that Pluto cannot regenerate or transform the sign of Libra, which is the Pluto transit of Gen X, as Pluto changes signs every 21 years on average, so about a generation, a little more than a generation, but digress. However, Pluto's time spent in a Mars ruled water sign brought some changes to humanity. Pluto, considered Scorpio's modern planetary ruler, although regardless of which astrological system you agree with, the fact that Pluto is moving throughout what would be considered its home Zodiac sign only emphasizes the power of this generation. After all, planet's inherent power is brought to life when it moves through its favorite Zodiac sign. So Pluto and Scorpio is the favorite of Pluto. Obviously, that's their sign. It's no coincidence that the majority of Pluto and Scorpio generation grew up reading A Clockwork Orange and movies like The Craft. It's familiar and comforting. However, looking at it from an astrological perspective, these darker stories were meant to help this generation understand the world isn't always a happy place. There are things like death, sadness, power, and power dynamics that are often part of the human experience. Millennials aren't ones to shy away from reality, and it's likely because they just simply didn't have a choice. Scorpio is a fixed sign after all, indicating resilience and determination. If millennials have learned anything from their complicated upbringing, it's inner strength. Don't underestimate the power of Pluto and all its tiny glory. Because I'm like, as much as the generation give us, mind you, I think the thing we probably have over both Gen X and Gen Z is that we're very adaptable, because we've had to go through all the changes, especially with technology. I was born in 92, so I'm definitely a millennial. So, like, we've gone from having boom boxes to having like handheld compact disc players. Did you anyone saw? I had one of those when I was in like elementary school, and then eventually we got to like the little MP3 players. All I had was music, which eventually evolved into now like cell phones. You would have cell phones and MP3 player, but then eventually they morphed them together into the iPhone. Like, there's so much changes going on. I'm like, how to keep up. And that's how you adapt and you survive. But I think that's probably one of the best things people in Scorpio have, that is a constant renewal with the world that we've kind of been able to keep up with. Okay, so if Gen X is Pluto and Libra, and we're Pluto and Scorpio, that would make Gen X Pluto and Sagittarius. Yeah. Millennials and Gen Z are more open to new ways of life, especially with like that we've had this year, the Great Resignation. You have had, especially over quarantine, it's like we started off, a lot of us wanting to, like Bernie Sanders president, and he's like a social democrat, right? But a lot of us ended up going further left, socialism or Marxism and various. So I kind of want to know what that means for this generation. So it would have to be Pluto and Sagittarius. So it's like also deep, transformative, and aware. So Pluto and Sagittarius.
When Pluto's work happens in bright open Sagittarius, these shifts no longer occur in the shadows. The wave of Sagittarius veracity displays every action, transformative Pluto to our conscious minds. Here we are being able to see the truth in our situation. Here's why things are falling apart the way they are. but where they're falling together too. Nevertheless, Pluto is relentless in its impact. Relationships or marriages fraught with deception may crumble beneath us during this transit. Long-held beliefs and the structures may fall apart, and they may realize they no longer apply to our lives. Addictions may suddenly demand conscious change. Neither Pluto nor Sagittarius have any patience for which does not serve our highest purpose. It may not be an enjoyable time, but we can take comfort in seeing the whole picture and embracing the honest transformation this transit brings. I feel like that explains so much between like millennial and Gen Z push for activism versus the other generation. Let me see. Pluto and Libra. So the Pluto-Libra generation is, or I should say, the world through beauty, as Dostoevsky wrote. Such a fascinating angle. So Pluto Libras had low latchkey kids of divorce, seeing that, doubling down on partnerships and redefining what it means. Let's see, the shock of divorce and upheavals of the 70s essentially mirrored astrological trends. This generation came into a world of chaos in terms of relationships. So we're doing it all differently. Some have children together, then get married. Others are living apart. They're releasing parenthood but not marriage. Pluto has to do these self-will crises that take time to resolve. It all unfolds under years. A question like that keeps coming up, and you have to find out how to live. For Pluto Libras, the relating sphere is intensely charged, where profound growth happens. So this generation puts emphasis on presentation. Libra, after all, is ruled by Venus. That all has to do with grace, style, and artfulness. There's a lot of power in the image, and or life itself can be airy or rooted in reality, or cut off from who they really are. And covered. Generation is often been highly influenced by the age of self-help gurus and the so-called New Age. One trap can be avoiding all that's dark and focusing on the light to keep oneself clean energetically. It's the only way that leads tendency to avoid confrontation finds a belief system in the teaching of the New Age.
Which I think is a very interesting distinction between, again, millennials and Gen Z, and then Gen X. And that means that have to be baby boomers would have to be Pluto and Virgo. But yeah, who knew that Scorpio and Pluto had the power to define a generation? And that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any Scorpio placements down below. Again, Scorpio, Pluto here, millennial, taking over for the 99, 2000. And if you haven't already, make sure to like this video, share with your friends, and subscribe. It's always getting awesomer and awesomer each time, because I'm awesome and awesomer. Well, that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching, and you have an awesome day, week, life, and I love you. Bye!